Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're live on Project Cars 2 for the final round of the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship, and it is a 5-round series and wrapping the series up at Bathurst Mount Panorama. So tonight's going to be some exciting V8 action. Session for Bathurst, we have Division 2 heading over to 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather is heavy cloud, and then the final race is 15 laps. Weather will progress from medium cloud through to light cloud, and there is a mandatory pit, and then we'll have a break and head into Division 1, and that is actually a mix-up on the graphics there on my screen. Looks of it, yes there is. But Division 1 will be coming in under those same conditions with 15 minutes of qualifying and a 15-lap race. So we'll look at the standings after the round 4. Balaki G88 leads the championship. It's pretty close between himself, with having Spray and Prey right on his heels in that third position spot, even tied between Steph and Dan. So tonight will be the decider for that podium. And then over into Division 1 after the 4th round, we have Sami having a good lead for the championship. But then he's followed by Vortex, and it is very tight on those points, going all the way down. We even have another tie in 4th position between DK and Gallon. We'll check out results from last week. So we're at Sonoma Raceway GP, and then we had a clean sweep from Taijo. And then again, another clean sweep in Division 1, where we had Sami take that clean sweep, securing some big points as well, furthering that lead. And we are just having a few little technical issues with the lobby. We do actually just have to restart the lobby for our session for Division 2, and then we can refire that back up. So we're just going to head to our tech issues screen as we just recommence that lobby, and then we'll be back in a moment. And we are finally back after some technical issues with multiple lobbies created and all apparently not having enough space to be able to launch this session, even though we had a good amount of drivers in there. So now back and ready for the final round in Division 2. We're at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Game session is 10 AM. Track is 6.21 kilometers with 23 turns, and that qualifying session we're starting off with the heavy clouds, as track temperatures are going to be a little bit cool to start with, but it will start to warm up as we progress towards the end of the qualifying and then head into the race. Hopefully no further tech issues tonight. Hopefully it should be the worst of it. Usually we have had that in the past. It's usually resolved just by restarting a new lobby. We did about 4 or 5 new lobbies and then still getting that same issue. So after a restart and then getting back in and even having to set up a completely different category and session with different car and track just to try and reset whatever was going on with those server settings. So hopefully that's the last of our tech issues for tonight. As you join us for the stream, jump in the chat, don't be shy, say hello, let us know who you're here to cheer on. And of course, let us know who you think is going to become the championship champion. Will it be Balarki? He hasn't had a championship win before, so it'll be spectacular to be able to see, and he's had a great series. And there we go, we've got like holographic coming back in. So that he had a disconnect in between us restarting those lobbies, trying to get things working. He's now back in for the qualifying. We'll make our way through the list. We have Balarki, our championship leader. And with the big points up for grabs, the standard points for qualifying, so 25 points on the line for pole position. There is a huge 240 points up for grabs for the win. And of course that fastest lap bonus points now goes to 10 points for the final round. But even that can be very crucial just how tight things are. Holographics has copped 2 grid place penalties for speeding in pits. And we have Cool Boy and Mr. D-Train. Drivers just crossing that control line for that out lap. So this will be first time laps to come through now. We got Dan Boone. And it's closely contested between himself and Steph. Both tied for 3rd position at the moment. And we have Hypes. You can see it's rather dark across the track. Those track temps are going to be rather low. Looks like Taijo made fairly heavy wall contact, but it looked like it was a bit of a lag skipping seam, slightly skipping side to side. So we've got Spray and Pray. His main focus tonight is just to ensure he gets a good amount ahead of Balarki to be able to take that championship win. Oh, that's some wall contact. The game will allow at least 2 minor wall touches on qualifying before it actually invalidates the lap time. Simo Simzel. Steph. Skulls are trying to look for that podium spot on the championship tonight. And even a solid round tonight. She can score herself a win. Could easily bump herself far up enough on those standings. She's been breaking some PBs. Can tonight be her race as well. And holographic trick. Like a couple of little lag skips. Hopefully he's not going to be having any connection issues. And he has taken those 2 grid place penalties. Going to have to try and aim for a bit higher position to compensate for that. Look at these first time laps. Balaki takes pole with a 201.4. Ray 201.5. It's only 0.089 difference between the two for the first time lap. So it is going to be closely contested throughout tonight between the two. Tyjo's come through for 202. And we'll be able to see some 2 minutes being set. The first time laps 201. Just got Pipes and Coolboy to get a time on the board. There is just under 9 minutes. Still got a few laps left in it. Oh, disconnect. I think that's probably holographic. Was lag spiking a little bit before. Hey, Seaweed. Yep, Coolboy is racing. And he's showing there's a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if that was done on that lap. It must have been. It's probably his visual from previous lap. That gets him on the board with a 220 for his first time lap. He's holding that pole. We got Spray coming up for another run around the mount, so we should be able to jump on board for a lap with him. That throw the old commentator's curse at him and see him go for a spin on the onboard lap. Down in turn 1 through held corner. Careful not to take too much of that inside curb. Can really unstabilise that car. You need to use as much of that exit curb as possible. Try and stick all the way up mountain straight. Snap it down a few gears. Use that engine braking to try and pull the car up. Cautious of that inside curb. You're going to use that outside gutter to try and bring that car back in, up through the cutting. On for a hot one. Just had car pull over for him. Gonna try and hug this wall as much as possible, just feathering that throttle. Nice line, can almost see it go flat stick through. And then wall to wall, bit of curb, slider out, try and drag that mirror along the wall. And turning nice and early at the filmy, try and get that curb. Cautious down in the S's. Can't really rely on heavy braking and put the car into a spin, so that engine braking really helps. And then anchors as they go down the dipper, and then Forest Elbow, we just scrape the wall. Hug that inside wall as much as possible. Right to left just to try and follow those inclines of the track. Really braking here. So what's going on here? If he's looking to let someone through. He's taking a very cautious down through the chase. this corner. Get as much curb to curb as possible. So he was well off the pace, but he really backed off on the approach to the braking zone, coming down to the chase. Usually quite heavy on the anchors. You've got to pull that car right across to the right, straighten the car up, and then get on the brakes. You can't be in that turn still to set that speed. You will not be able to pull the car up easily. And oh, look at Blakey, just crosses the line, setting a 2-minute .660. There's a fair bit of debris scattered across through turn 1. A lot of marbles going to really upset some cars for a few laps. We've got under 5 minutes remaining now. Everyone for jumping into the stream. Oh no, Vortex having some internet issues tonight. Seems to be tech issue night tonight. All the IT goblins are causing some havoc. Marky Mark's qualified in 4th with a 203.082. Bullboy getting some nice laps in now after his first conservative out lap. He's got that down to 203.2. Oh, it's using every bit of track going across Skyline. Dropping a tad bit of tyre off into the gravel. Trains also in the 203s. So that's 3 drivers in the 203s. 2 of them in the 201s. Blakey, the only driver to get into a 2-minute margin. Oh, big spin. Brendan's catching him off guard. They've set a 204.8. Looks like D-Train tucking him behind. D-Train's on for a good lap. This could be a good advantage. He's going to get a heap of extra time coming down Conrod. Don't forget, for all our viewers jumping on, hit that follow button if you haven't done so. Do jump on down underneath the stream. You'll see those sound effects controls, that way you can cheer on and applaud favourite drivers. Might have some issues. You can see in the background just before we crossed over as well, Steph had gone off in Murray's, like she'd went off a little bit before, spinning out just near that pit entrance. Oh, Taijo has stolen pole position. 3 times quicker than Blakey. 2-minute 3:70. Hypes has cost himself a grid place penalty also. One of those timings, Holographics wearing 2 grid penalty. Hypes is wearing 1. He's currently qualified in 11th, so it's not going to affect him, so he's going to have to try and bump himself up a few spots. If it's not this lap, I'm not really sure if this may even be an out lap for him. That might be done for him. And there's qualifying complete. Not sure if Spray may have just got across the line in time. I think he did. Doesn't look like it's an AI driving the car. But he's got a chance here to be able to move up a spot. He needs to at least try and squeeze in front of Velaki. He can take that number 2 position on the grid. He's going to need every point to try and chase that small gap between himself and Velaki. Oh, we've just seen another better time. Taijo brings in a 1:59. He's a full second even ahead of Velaki's time. It's a 59.660 and a 2:660. What a final lap for Taijo, and how is Velaki going to go here? Got 100 seconds to finish the last laps now. Ooh, Velaki improves, but only by 2 tenths. Not enough to take that pole. But he can shave off a couple of tenths, that at least puts a little bit of a safety net between himself and the Spray. Spray's going to have to dig a little bit deeper here to try and take that position away from Velaki. And Mark practicing a pit entry. It's not the easiest of pit lanes to try and find your way in. You do need to really take note of where those cones are, indicating when to use that pit limiter. But it's going to cost you, because you do lose a fair bit of pace by slowing up and hitting that limiter on the approach down the weaves into the pit lane. And we have qualifying now complete. Final qualifying for Division 2 in the Pagnian Import V8 Supercar Championship. Taijo takes pole position with a 1:59.660. Then the rest of the grid then is Velaki, Spray and Pray, Marky Mark, Cool Boy, D-Train, Simo Simsel, Holographic Trick, bumps down 2 spots, who moves into 10th, and we see Steph move up into 8th and Damboon into 9th. So those two tied on the championship, still sitting very close as well. And then we've got Hypes, whose grid place penalty won't affect on him there. So we'll be heading over to the grid now. Drivers now got a couple of minutes just to get just how tight this championship is tonight, being the decider. There's no room for errors. They have to make sure that they have that set up in all correctly, right amount of fuel, and then to make sure that pit strategy is set, and to have a couple little backups in there as well. Likely they'll just utilize just a quick stop and go. They'll should be able to last out 15 laps on a set of softs, no dramas. And it's not a requirement of the drivers having to have anything done to the car, so they can just use that quick stop and release. Try and make it as quick as possible down that journey through pit lane. And we're seeing these guys race it out in pit lane throughout the series. And here we are, lights about to go green for the last time in the V8s for Division 2. A lot on the line for them all here. And what a spectacular start with a D-Train ducking up. I think he just snuck in front of Cool Boy. Hydro gets away pretty clean. Starts to put a few car lengths over Balaki. Balaki also getting away for some decent speed. Look at Marky Mark sneaking up along that outside, going up Mountain Straight, looking to take on Spray. D-Train also looking to get in, but he's not going to have enough time to do so. Going to be tight. Marky had to yield and give that track position back. So the race director screen has actually just changed, so we'll have access to be able to change the cars for a moment as well. Load back in. Technical issues with the multiplayer link. We just focus on Tajo leading the way. Dropped out. See some racing going on. So back in the should be able to start checking out what's going on. Hopefully not too much incident going on in the back yet. That gap that Tajo is getting is now got from as far distance that I'm trying to seek. 1.5 seconds. Back with control again, so splits now back up down the bottom. Lucky now trying to chase Tajo by 2 seconds. There's already been a few slowdowns given. Dan Boone's taking a stack, he's going down pit lane. The guys had a chuckle seeing my user come up as being disconnected at all after all the issues we had trying to get this all going. Things are pretty tight between D-Train and Marky Mark. And Cool Boy even closing in to join in on the action. This is a battle for third position. Some lag going on for Cool Boy. Some huge lag going on for Cool Boy. Panics for a moment thinking it was just my console as it looked a little bit similar but just before I dropped out. And then it was also the same. And we can see Cool Boy's car frozen in Forest Elbow. And then he's now just vanished out. Yeah, Cool Boy disconnected. I think a fair few people in the area around the place having some tech issues at the moment. Especially a lot of places going to be copping some storms very shortly as well. With actually rejoining back in the session, I'm getting a up-to-date live race feed, so getting some information about sector times. It usually freezes and doesn't continue on from qualifying. The fastest driver in sector 3 at the moment is D-Train. Yeah, Stormy, there would be some pretty nasty stuff coming that way, and we're also included in it here being Northern New South Wales. We've got some lightning on approach at the moment. little boy in the chat. He's got all the storms around as well. It's probably playing havoc with his connection. Look at this. This is really bunching up. This fight for position 3, and they're even closing in on Balaki. Balaki's last lap was at least only a second quicker than the others. Except for D-Train. More closely matched to it, and it seems to be D-Train that's getting the quickest through Sector 3. Taijo seems to be having all the pace in Sectors 1 and 2. That lap a 2:01.394, and that's with race load and race setup. What a time to be able to set out the front. Like, I'm feeling some big pressure here from Spray as he turns on the mountain straight. Hey Gallen, thanks for jumping on the straight. Sally Engineering lockout in the championship. This team contributions, those setups definitely paying off. These guys are in great form. These cars seem to be handling incredibly well. Marky Mark's really closing in on Spray. Bit of a flip from Spray. I'm sure he is copping a little bit of aero wash. And again, coming down the S's, as was for Marky Mark. I was going to say, he's one tiny little mistake from what I'm hearing. It can be quite catastrophic for a lot of them. Racing so tight. Across the mountain. Is Spray going to try and look for a move? He should have enough draft here to be able to position for a move in the chase. Will Balaki go to block him? He does. Spray didn't actually commit to go for a line. He's just tucking in at this stage. Balaki doesn't normally play a defensive game. He's going to really have to tonight. There's a lot on the line. Oh, Marky Mark's having another go, trying to get around Spray up Mountain Straight. Spray loses 2 positions. D-Train even looks to gain another hit. That's going to understeer him straight out in the wall. He's carrying a lot of speed, a lot of aero wash. It's a little bit of a risky move, but didn't take too much damage. I think the car may be steering okay. It may just be some side panel damage. Try and get back that spot from Marky Mark. Oh, there's been a turnaround. I think it's Taijo. He had a solid lead. He turned around just after the dipper and he was blocking the track. How much damage did the rest of the field take while trying to get past? There's definite contact from someone. I think they may have only just scraped through. That'll be a journey into pit lane for Taijo. That car's in real bad shape. That car is not steering straight whatsoever. Quite lucky he didn't have too much of a journey to try and get that car back to the pits. That means Balaki becomes our race lead. Oh, Nick, not the team car. That's not going to put Taijo out of the race too much. It is Bathurst, anything can happen. It'll be very much a race of attrition here. The mountain is incredibly unforgiving. It doesn't take much of a lack of concentration. A tiny little bit of pushing to try and get a little bit more out of that car to make all the difference. Easily put that into a wall. Oh, Mark scrapes that left side. I think Mark may have actually taken a little bit of a scraping and tried to get around Taijo. He was completely sideways just in this section here. There's no room to be able to really get around. Our race leader starting the space just a little bit. So lap 6. Nearing the halfway point. Dan Boone had to pit early as well. We've seen him come in with some damage after I had to rejoin back into the session. Taijo's been in and got fixed up. He's in 9th position. He's only 1 minute behind race lead. For the time drivers in the pits. All drivers heading into the pits now. Balaki and D-Train. Oh, sorry, Balaki, that's Marky Mark and D-Train. Balaki and Spray stay out on track. Could that trip be that they are tending to some damage? Mark taking a little bit longer, but he may be taking on some tyres as well. The D-Train gets a position over him through the pit stop. See Steph up in 3rd position. Steph will need to pit, so she's going to lose some spots. I should see her probably around 4th, I would assume. Sometime everyone pits in and D-Train and Marky Mark move back up a few spots. Taijo's trying to recover. He's making some gains. He's got 58 seconds now, so he's made up a couple of seconds that last lap. And we have Hypes in 8th position. Marky Mark, after serving the mandatory pit, rejoined in 7th. Blarky's pitting in. A little bit loose. I'm pretty sure he did take on tyres, so it's probably a little bit cool out there now for him at the moment. So this outlap's going to be a tad slippery. Now holographic trick in P6. D-Train also having pit. He's in 5th. In goes Simo. He's holding 4th. Beth heads into the pits. As does Spray and Balaki. Now D-Train has pit. Will he take the race lead here? He's had some pretty solid pace. He gets out just ahead of Balaki. With our first four now all having been in and served that mandatory pit requirement, they are now racing for position. Makes a mistake though. And again. Big wall touches through the cutting. He doesn't need to be too concerned about getting around D-Train championship-wise. Doesn't need to take any risky moves to try and get around. His main thing is just not to get held up behind him if he's got more pace than D-Train. So it doesn't allow Spray to try and close in. Spray's going to be hoping that the complete opposite will happen, and then open up that opportunity to be able to sneak through. A little bit of the wobbles under braking, just turning in a bit just under that heavy brake. Larky closing down on D-Train. Train moves to cover the inside line. He's going to have to hold that now. Larky gets a good run. It may have been a little bit premature. Tried to break that slipstream. Larky tucks straight in. He's not letting off. He's going to make a move. Griffins. Slip from D-Train at the cutting again. He's going to have to be cautious if he's starting to see him slip a little bit. He doesn't want to get caught up in an incident here. If it does, it's going to mean the championship could potentially be lost. Now all bunching up for a fight for the race lead now. All drivers all closing in. They've got a nice safety net between them and fifth. Look at Tyjo, he's now moved up into P6, only 17.5 seconds away from them now. After the huge crash, lengthy pit stop, and coming out at the back of the field. Roof of Malarkey. For an outside move, he's going to almost go for a switch back. A little bit slippery as he takes a little bit of curb. Going to be too wide coming down to Murray's. Ray looks to try and get in. Goes for a move around Spray. Going to lead him door to door just about. Carrying enough speed to be able to keep that line. Spray could be in for a bit of trouble here. Neck and neck. They'll approach the corner. What a battle for this race. About 5 laps to go. Holographic and Dan F in the pits, Dan having already hit. Wall contact by both Spray and Mark. pace he takes down the Forest Elbow. Gets him a little bit slippery. Larky also drops a tyre off. Right, Crunchy definitely is some great racing up the front. These guys have been at it pretty full on for the whole race. There's not been any chance to have a breather whatsoever. Ray seems to be getting a bit more pace coming through that corner, but it seems like Malarkey's pulling away on the straight. Difference in fuel loads or not. How close they get through the cutting. D-Train pulling away a little bit. Those previous laps, he got a little bit loose through that sector. Mark looking for openings. They were crisscrossing all the way through. Makes contact with the dipper. That's really put him off his mark. And he's lost that little bit of momentum now. Too uncommon to see a little bit of wall contact after that. It really throws you off your game. Hopefully you can try and get that momentum back and rejoin that intense battle between these other three. Dan and Boone battling at the 9th position at the moment. Fighting at the front end and at the back. Little bit of slip from D-Train. Early on that throttle coming through the corner. Fair few post-race time penalties are going to be applying for some drivers. We've got Hypes, Dan, Holographic, Simo and Marky Mark. Oh, big slip from D-Train again, that same spot. Slightly put Balarkey off line. It almost opened up an opportunity for Spray to try and sneak his way through. So lap 12, we've got 3 laps to go. Tyjo having taken the pole in that early race lead. He has made a huge recovery after that stack. Judge coming down the S's, that's put him off. He did come back out. I think that may be a lag hit there. He rejoined after that stack with about a minute behind the race lead. He's narrowly currently 8.5 seconds behind. He's about 2 seconds quicker than our current race leaders per lap. There's only 3 laps remaining. So at this pace, he's only going to be able to catch probably about 6 seconds. You can see him just coming out of the chase off in the distance. He's definitely going to be within shot of having a crack at Marky Mark. Marky looks to go for an outside pass through Hill Corner. does a crisscross, gets him through corner exit. If Balaki doesn't have the pace to try and get up and get that track position, he's probably going to lose a couple of spots here. Spray could definitely tuck in. Good move. Swings in and blocks that line from Spray. Doesn't have to be focused on D-Train. He's just got to be wary of who's in his mirror. Oh, and there's that turnaround. They both narrowly avoid it. Balaki's our race lead again. It's really put Spray off some pace. He came around that corner to that incident rather blind. Balaki actually had time to try and react. He saw it happen. Spray needs to try and get in front of Balaki here. It could be enough points difference to be able to take the championship win. Look at those timings, so some hefty time penalties up there. 22 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds, 50 seconds from Dan Boone, and nearly a DQ there. 2 seconds by Marky Mark. Fastest lap of the race. It looks like Taijo, it's a 2 minute. But maybe tough Spray and Balaki to try and get the fastest lap of the race. If they can really pull something off in these last 2 laps. I think that may have been a car. A green car parked off to the side there. Pipes having to make a very late pit stop. I can't even actually see his crew on my screen. That's rather interesting. Definitely was on the broadcast screen. Great. Drops back a position. Marky Mark has that time second penalty. Spray doesn't have to be too worried. He'll get that position as long as he stays close to Mark. Yeah, no fastest lap for Balaki or Spray. They're on team orders. Balaki's got a nice lead. Oh, there's a bit of a slip through Forest Elbow for Mark. It's costing some time. From lap 14. Now to come up across the line, ready to get the white flag. We'll be running slightly late. We're starting our next division as well. It's about 15 minutes just to get the session started. Oh, nearly contact between Mark and Spray. That could have been very drastic for Spray. Narrowly avoided that. Here comes Chijo as well. Expected coming in around that time frame, the tail of Mark. Championship leader, Balaki leading the race on the final lap. Last time around the mountain, and that will wrap up the 8 Supercar Championship. This can be a championship win for Balaki. What a solid drive Balaki's been doing. Come leaps and bounds and absolutely tamed this beast of a V8. I'm just about to take a championship win, let alone do it in a V8 Supercar. It is one of the hardest cars in this game to drive. Yeah, cordial party at Balaki's tonight. Those shot glasses out and that cotties. And then just coming up to a lap car. Doesn't need to worry about getting around because he's about to take the checkered flag home and become the championship winner. What a drive, Balaki. What a series. Congrats, Balaki, on the win. And Spray on the podium in P2. Oh, I think Spray just missed the position. Not sure what's going on. It's the standings there is actually showing online that Taijo 2, but it isn't the case. It's a little bit weird. Bring it up on the screen over there. Spray in second, Marky in third. Then Taijo took fourth. D-Train crosses in fifth. That brings it home in sixth position. Simo Simsel coming up in seventh. A little bit slippery through the chase. Looks like Hype's having some fun. Reckon the car across the line. Here comes Holographic. Take 8th position. Dino's cross that line. There's 80 seconds to get last laps done. Hype's already crossed, that means it's just Dan to finish up. They do definitely jump under those audio controls and throw out a cheer for our drivers on an awesome series, especially for our championship winner Balaki. He's done some personal bests, his first win, and even finished the championship with a win at Bathurst. And Holographic is finished up. There we go, I'm getting correct results there now. So there's a 2-second time penalty, just getting Taijo through on him. And then I think the guy was actually saying a Cellar Engineering washout for podium. It looks like he got that. So Balaki takes the victory in the final race. Then we have Spray and Pray in second place and Taijo in third. And the rest of the standings we then have is Marky Mark, D-Train, Steph, Simo Simsel, Dan Boone, and Hypes. And then I've seen Holographic jump out just. A bit unfortunate. Then we'll be getting in our podium finishes for a chat. So bear with me as I add them in. Lucky Spray and Taijo will be joining us. Yeah, that's shot through. We'll have them joining us in a moment. I could actually take a replay on this other screen as well. So just pop up in a moment. There we go. Congratulations, Balaki. Great drive. taking the win in the final race and then securing that championship.
Yeah. Win at Bathurst, championship win at Bathurst.
Yeah,
Could be better.
Not a better way to finish it up.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, there wasn't much break between you guys at the front there. You were fighting that out for a majority of that race. And some close calls too, with just having to sneak around Taijo, going for the spin after the dipper, and then also D-Train at the cutting.
Yeah. Pooped myself.
It would have, for sure.
Yeah, I was going for a steady pace there until that tiny tap in the wall there caught me off guard, and that was it. I had to rush it to the pits and gained heaps of time, maybe 20 seconds of the guys in front on my tires we did. So yeah, nonetheless, it was a good race.
Yeah, and good comeback too, to come back out after that pit stop to tend to the damage. You're about a minute behind, and then you just made your way back up and take spot on podium. So yeah, well done.
Thank you.
And congrats, Spray. P2.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's not what I want. I'm hoping to see in the later race results that Blake took not D-Train out. Wouldn't that be good?
Gave him a nice shunt through the cutting there and cop a 60-point penalty or something.
From what I saw, yeah, definitely, yeah. But nah, congrats on Blake, and shout out to the mum and dad and Kato for the week's worth of practice. It was really good. Thanks, everyone. It was a
congrats,
fun
man.
round.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race and great series too. It's been pretty tight figures pretty much throughout the whole series, so well done.
Oh, it's been awesome. I gave Blake a few bumps, telling him to hurry up and make a move on some people, and yeah, he just wouldn't budge.
Give a few little rubs, just let him know you're there.
Yeah, hurry up, Blake. Got places to be.
Sure.
That was really good.
And Gal said you cordial party tonight now.
Oh yeah. What do you say? 9:30 my house.
He likes green cordial, the monster. Who likes
I like
that?
any cordial.
Yeah, well, sure you'll enjoy a nice cold drink, whatever it is, Blarkey, with solid drive tonight, and then the first championship in the bag, and hopefully more to come.
Hopefully.
Party safely and responsibly, mate.
yeah, pace that, Cotties.
Yep.
Yeah. Congrats, guys, and good luck with the new series next week with the GT3s.
Sally Engineering 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Gal was saying it's Heli Engineering washout, so well done.
Yeah. Thanks for this season, JT. Another great one.
No worries.
Good luck all in Div 1. Hopefully the lobby doesn't stuff up for you.
Fingers crossed, no more tech issues. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, congrats, guys. Talk to you
Thank
later.
You.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
There he is.
And we have our Podium Finishes, Blarkey taking the victory in the final race, becoming the series champion. And then Spray and Prey in position 2 and Taijo in position 3. So we'll be back shortly with Division 1. So we are running a little bit off schedule. We'd normally be starting that now, so we're probably going to be off and running, provide no technical issues, in about 10 minutes. So we'll just see how we go. So do stay tuned as we gear up ready for the next session, and hopefully see some more fantastic V8s around the mountain as Division 1 finishes up the series. So do stay tuned, we'll be back shortly. And welcome back, and no issues getting this lobby started. A little bit daunting hitting that start button, waiting to see if that error would pop back up, but we got the countdown and are underway for Division 1, and then finishing up, of course, for the final round at Bathurst Mount Panorama. We did just see Division 2 finish up with Balaki taking the win, and we saw some great racing going on, and I'm sure we'll see some more again in Division 1. So same track conditions, so it's 10 AM, it's heavy cloud conditions for the qualifying. Track length is 6.21 kilometers with 23 turns, and then a lot of fun seeing these V8s roll around the mountains. So we're in for another good show in this second session. And even a couple of tech issues for some of the drivers even trying to get into the session. There was some freezing and lockups accepting the join to the lobby for DK and Gallen, both having to quickly restart as well. Quite interesting just with how tech issues tend to usually go on a broad range. Usually when it rains it pours, and those tech gremlins start playing havoc. So we got 20 drivers for Division 1's race. We'll make our way down through the list as the drivers scramble out for their out lap. We have Doggy Daddy. At the back, pretty sure that may have been Luca's car. Dirty Monkey. He runs off track to let them through. Down there fighting around it with the controller. Yeah, that was Luca's car that we saw go for that spin at turn 2. Have Rooney. And Mick Cliff. A couple of our drivers are quite ill tonight as well. They're still going to try and battle it out, so hopefully they can last out the course of the race. This is not our usual big 30 lappers that we used to do before we started running the 2 divisions. Try and finish up with Bathurst. And there's a message from Vortex. He was in a chat before during Division 2's race mentioning he's having tech issues. He was in the lobby, but then he just sent me a message saying he's having some connection issues again. So he's going to skip the race. That's quite unfortunate. He did join in Division 1 round down. He had to waive all of round 1's points as he changed over from the Division 2 and Division 1 for round 2. And then still up towards that top end. So he's had a solid run. And even with Sami leading the championship and then having that solid lead, and to see Vortex moving on up quite quickly. So he would have been heavily contested potentially. Vortex didn't have to miss out on that round. We have Billy Manilli. Pretender. So, a bunch of connection issues. Pretender and Wera last week. They're unable to make it tonight. He joins in later in the session. Hopefully those tech issues are resolved. There's a bit of troubleshooting to try and fix it up so we can get them all on the track with no dramas. And now Corby back on track after not being able to make it for a while. He's glad to be back in the seat. wishing him all the luck tonight. I don't think he's too practiced. Bobby's usually got some good quick pace, especially in the V8s. Hopefully he still has an alright round tonight. It's all the best to Bobby. Seeing him back on track. We have DK Rush. A little bit slippery. Those track temperatures still a little cool. So they've got to be careful on these first few laps. I've got the head farmer. First lap's coming through, so it's now just mixed up my list. Hopefully I don't miss anyone. We've got Gallant. Oh, that's a solid hit through turn 2. We got Coco Dog. That first timed lap for pole position. Championship leader Sami. Yeah, Vortex, it's unfortunate for your dramas not being able to rejoin. I look forward to seeing you back on track next week for the GT3s. So first time laps of 159.7. We see 58. Even down to the 57s being set. Oh, big spin for DK. Oh, he narrowly avoids touching the wall, but he still brings him to the pits. We've almost seen 14 drivers be able to finish it out in the final race. Unfortunately, it would have been 15 if we could see we're able to make it as well. Slickness still going on for Philly. I think he may be trying to get a little bit of extra temp in, and he's going to go for a lap of the gods. He's kind of focused. Corby lands in second quickest time, 159.7. Bad for being a little bit out of form. Allen's first lap was a 202.3. That was another outlet for him as he did bring that car back in. The driver's time on the board. 70 first lap for Rooney, but looks like he did take some damage. It's most likely brought the car back into the pits. It's taking that damage, so it's just remaining that damage visually on the car. It won't be affecting the performance whatsoever. Coco Dog. A bit late to try and get in and join with getting a time on the board. again. Hopefully my voice is now back. And there we go. That's qualifying done for Division 1. I don't know how long you didn't hear me for, but that's probably my best commentating moments then if it was all silent and then no one would hear. So I'm glad that he's had to rejoin back in to the audio chat there. So we see in the final qualifying for Division 1 in the Pagnian Imports V8 Supercar Championship, Corby takes pole. And the rest of the starting grid we have is Sami, Coco Dog, DK, Philly Manili, Rooney, Gallen, Mick Cliff, Pretender, Head Farmer, Dirty Monkey, Luca, and Doggy Daddy. So we'll head over to the grid now. Yeah, so we're sure getting our serves of IT issues tonight. Drivers got a couple of minutes just to get their cars ready. And a drive-through penalty mid-race, yeah, it can happen. There's allowable time penalty of 20 seconds, and then it'll give a drive-through penalty once you exceeded that. Usually once drivers have copped a heavy speeding penalty that usually stings them for 50 seconds, it'll issue a drive-through. It'll be the same as for a jump start. Steering assist, no, definitely not racing. Oh, we've had it all turned off in our ones. And what a great start. Like Pretender making a little bit of a move down the back. Sami looking to try and take that lead from Corby. Wise ahead pretty quickly. Coco's moving on up. These two starting to space. Oh, big spin from DK. Not sure if there was a tap there, if it was just a little too quick. Return 2. Seen drop back down towards the rear. It could have gone much worse. Wall contact from Corby. It's going to open up an opportunity for Sami to try and close that pace in. Wall contact from Rooney as well. Ooh, Philly's dropped all the way back. He's gone for a spin over Skyline. Looked like everyone got through it pretty cleanly, so must have just ran off on the outside. So he's only 15 seconds behind, so he's got out of that rather cleanly. Very lucky incidents that could have gone badly for many if they had been caught up in that at that pace. Race leaders starting to gap between each other. Starting to back up amongst the field here, mid-pack, 6th position. Farmer Dirty Monkey who's side by side down pit straight. And Farmer maintains that. Phillies brought the car into the pits. It has taken some damage. Trying to chase down Corby. Championship-wise, he doesn't really need to be too focused on him. He just needs a clean run tonight. He can finish down the back end as long as he's not going to be copping any hefty penalties. He should have enough points on the board to be able to still hold the championship. It's that rest of that podium. Heavily contested. And second is Vortex. Is not being able to make it with having some connection issues. I mean, having some very strange things with even Simo jumping into the chat. For those that can't see the chat while watching the stream. In the Division 2 race, having given a drive-through penalty mid-race. I don't remember if there was much of the time penalty for him, so he's just missed a corner and then it give it to him. There's been a lot of strange issues in the last weeks with the service for project cars. Battling out with DK, just ahead of him is Luca. Billy just got the post-race time penalty as well. He's still unable to close that gap too much. That's getting backed up here, the 8th position. Luca's got Head Farmer, DK, and that Dirty Monkey quickly closing in on him. There. Oh, Luke has gone for a big one. Quite is, I think that's just after and one. Where is he? Not sure where he's actually. Looks like pit exit there. Or is he just in possession potentially? No. I think he may have just retired. I feel like that car wouldn't move. Okay, his car in bad shape. He's starting to close that gap on Corby now. He's got it down to under a second. Coco's about 2 seconds away. Carrying a huge amount of pace. He's about 8 tenths quicker that lap around. The bumper of Sami's car. Later braking, closing that gap in a little bit more. So he still manages to pull away from him. So 5 laps in, Dobby Daddy's coming in, he's had some damage to contend with. PK and Head Farmer closing in. Up ahead is Dirty Monkey. He hugs that wall. Drops the tyre off. This could be a little sketchy. And then wall contact is well off pace here. He's lost his rhythm. This could potentially put in a risky situation for DK to try and make a move. Sami's real close on the tail of Corby now. See what lap times come up on the board as they come across. .202 for Corby. Sami at 201.8. Another 2 tenths quicker. Swing out, but he's not quite got enough pace to slingshot out. Corby's car is really pulling away. Dirty Monkey heading into the pits now. PK still behind the Head Farmer. Cliff sitting in a nice little position at the moment in the 6th. About 5 seconds difference between himself and the 7th being Pretender. He's got 3 seconds till he catches up to Gal. Two seconds ahead is Rooney. Gap now teetering between Corby and Sami. Corby decides to peel off into the pits. Sami will take that race lead. There's a lap traffic to come up to now. It's Doggy Daddy up ahead. A good strategic move for Corby. He's starting to drop that pace off. Feeling pressure from Sami, and then with some lap traffic. And since he's about to reach that halfway point, hitting now, then put that space back out and give him a bit more free track just to be able to keep putting down some quick lap times without feeling too much pressure. Now Sami just needs to make sure he doesn't get held up, and then push through and gain as much time as he can. Brilliant timing there to be able to get around Doggy Daddy. He's over at this right spot. He didn't lose a lot of pace there. The bad thing is, once you get up through that section, there's not too many real safe spots to try and get around. That's going to potentially put that car into an unpredictable situation that can cause some dramas. Oh, that's a heavy hit, DK. Ed Farmer also scrapes that wall. DK does the same and bounced that car right out. Leaving a good chunk of paint along that concrete wall. Rooney's copped time penalty as well. We have Corby back amongst the race in position 9. He's 33 seconds behind race lead. And in goes Sami now. This will be interesting just to see where they come out. Coco also heading in. He's sitting rather close down pit lane. There's Bays Who's here. They've got the same couple of pit crew. Rooney stays out on track, as does Gallen. Rooney and Gallen take that lead. And it's eyes on Corby. He was in the lead before heading into the pits. Being the first of the race leaders to serve that mandatory pit. You can see Sami coming out that exit now. He's going to have to get out ahead of him still. Very similar gap still. Weather conditions clearing up now. Current temperature is increasing. We're seeing some pretty tight lap times now. As that fuel loads are starting to drop. Rooney's in the race lead. Gallen in second place. Like Corby got ahead of the head farmer just in time. It slowed up Sami because he got stuck behind him as he's going down the mountain. He does move over to relinquish that spot to him. It's too much. They are currently racing for position, but head farmer will need to head in and pit. Rooney and Gallen, they're heading in. Sees McCliff take the race lead now. We'll be up in the second position. Sami side by side with Pretender, a little bit of door robbing. And he just heads out of the pits. Alan makes his way out. Head Farmer a little bit longer stop. Sami and Corby now back at it in that battle that they've had throughout the race. Only have it separated by heading into their pits. Nick out the front, enjoying the race lead. Seeing about probably 35 seconds for a stop. We're going to see him come out around the 7th position. If that car's feeling fine, he may want to stay out on track for a little bit because he's got a good clear run. He's got nearly 7 seconds between himself and Corby. I don't think he's got any traffic to come up to for a while. With the car ahead. See just off in the distance there, Corby and Sami still trying to close in and fight for that position. This is essentially for the race lead. So as Mick heads into the pits, come back to being the race leaders. And now heading off into pit lane. Crew runs out ready to go. These two are again. Lord, Sami is how close he's getting that car under the tail of Corby's car. Just slip through the dip of that car, airborne briefly. Corby is not slowing down for him. And now caught up to Mick Cliff. Leaving the car in this lap. Now stay out there. Let these two through and then tuck in behind for a couple of laps. That could potentially give him a little bit more time. When he does go in and pit, he may come out just a few more seconds quicker than the rest of those that he's going to be potentially battling with. In he comes. Probably takes that lead now. Oh, a touch. Only affected Sami. It's actually helped Corby through the corner. It looked like it actually gave him a burst of speed as he made the shunt. Sami had to really drop off that throttle. He's almost going to put the car into a spin. Okay, dog. V3. Carrying on lap 11, so we'll look at the current standings. And Philly in position 12. Corby Daddy in 11th. DK Rush in 10th. Makes his way back into the pits again. He's taken some huge damage. DK's been having some bad luck with taking damage in the series. Caught up with pretty hefty damage on that one Sonoma last week. And we have Dirty Monkey, position 9. Starting to get close. About to battle out Head Farmer in position 8. Pretenders in P7. Ellen in 6. Nick Cliff did manage to be able to make up a little bit more time after heading into the pits. He's only just ahead of Gallen. Oh, I think Rooney's just gone off. Rooney was a couple of spots up, so he's actually now dropped back down in the 6th position. So that's seen a change. So he's run off in the chase. Gallen now in 5th, quickly closing in on the big left holding P4. Look at that run Gal's got coming up Mountain Straight. Probably make a move here for an inside line pass. Not quite enough. The undulation upset the car a little bit. Heading into there under the braking zone. Gonna have to wait and look for another opportunity. Oh, he goes for a move. I think Mick Cliff's just makes front end contact. Doggy Daddy's turned around in the cutting. Bring up that map. It's going to be a difficult spot to try and turn around. The local yellow there. We've got a fair bit of traffic coming through. Tender, one more car, and then another. And now he's got clear track to try and turn around, but he's actually stuck up against that wall, so it makes it a little bit hard. He'll take some more damage. Unfortunate there. Nick drops a couple of spots after getting caught up on that line. Come around a blind corner, see a car facing the wrong way, huddled up against that wall. Not a whole lot you can do about that. Rooney comes into 5th position. Gallen now in 4th. Becker Dog in 3rd. To steer off to the right a little bit. I'm not sure if he may be contending with a damaged car. There is some visual damage to it. That does remain. Once the driver's actually brought it back into the pits, you'll still see some buckling and the lights. So it's actually reattached any wings and spoilers to the car. And any cracked windshields, buckling still remains. Will be in P2. Sasami's taken back the lead now. Managed to get the race lead amongst all that chaos that was going on beforehand. It's DK that moves over for the blue flag. Doggy Daddy heading into the pits. Probably would have took a bit to try and limp that car back from that point. It's a long way around with the wounded car. Sami's just drifted out. but he's got enough of a safety net, so there must have been a pretty big mistake done by Corby. He's now trailing behind Sami by 14 seconds. It's a bit of a scrape. Terrific car, maybe crab walk a little. We're on lap 14, so nearly coming up to the last lap. Corby's done a spectacular job, especially not being in the seat for a while, and he didn't think he'd have the pace for tonight. Take pole position and then battle it out and hold off Sami essentially for the majority of the race. That's a fantastic drive. He's got a 12-second gap between himself and Coco. Big scrape. Nearly again. Gallen quickly closing in Coco, looking for a spot on the podium. Hawks go for a move, or locks up. Narrowly avoiding some contact. Could have almost been a punt off the track. I'm pretty sure Coco's battling out there with a wounded car. Oh, big block. He's done his one move. He's got to now hold that line. Let's put him in a spin. Lost a lot of speed. That's final lap here. Can't block now. Coco's dealing with that wounded car, so it's really quite hard to try and chase down Gallen now. Carrying a lot of speed. Look at that slip. Sami coming down to the final sector on the final lap. Sami about to bring the championship home. Final corner. Down in through Murray's. Ready to cross the line, take the checkered flag. Only the race win, but also the championship. Plenty of time to do a burnout. And the frustrating thing there, he didn't cross the line until after DK went around, so he's probably going to have to do another lap as well. Doing a burnout across the line as well. Corby on the podium in position 2. Gallen coming up for a spot on the podium as well, taking position 3. Well done, Gallen. Coco Dog getting that wounded car across the line still. 4th, great position. That front bar barely holding on for Rooney. Seen come home in 5th. McCliff, 6th position. Flash of the lights. He's happy with that. Tender in 7th. I think that he's actually AI going for DK there. Seeing us across the line just after Sami went across, so he's lucky. Head Farmer in 8th. And there we are. Race concluded for the series. Sami taking the win in the final round. Congratulations to Sami, and that'll be enough points to be able to get that championship well and done in the bag. I think like fastest lap has gone to Corby with 2:3.70, so only less than a 10th difference between his and Sami's times. So congratulations for those extra points there. And then Sami with the win on the podium in P2 is Corby, and then Gallen in P3. And the rest of the standings we have is Coco Dog, Rooney, McCliff, Pretender, Head Farmer, DK, Philly Minilly, Doggy Daddy, and Dirty Monkey, who did retire out on lap 13. So the one is out there. It's unfortunate there for Dirty. So we'll be bringing in Sami, Corby, and Gallen into the chat. So a little bit slower than usual. We're trying to load all this up, so hopefully we'll get them in here shortly. Doesn't surprise me with the tech issues we've had tonight. Glad to see the end of that, and hopefully fresh with no tech issues for the next series. Hey Sami, congratulations mate, what a drive and way to finish off the series.
Yeah, thanks mate. Finally got the monkey off my back around Bathurst.
Yep.
Corby didn't make it any easier though. Certainly,
no, definitely not.
Certainly hard sort of keeping up with him for a lot of that race. So, but yeah, he was certainly quicker over the top than what I was. But, yeah, no, it was really good. So.
Yeah, it's good seeing just how close you were holding for most of the laps. There wasn't much between you.
No, not at all. I think probably 1 second there for quite a while, and I know whether Corby's tyres went off a little bit quicker than mine, and I sort of come into him a little bit, caught up to him a little bit.
That's true.
Quicker than what was expected, but yeah, no, it was still hard to get around too. But yeah, just fortunate, I suppose. Corby made a bit of a mistake on the top of the mountain up there, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, especially towards the back end. So yeah, it was unfortunate for it to happen that late. But even your best laps too, very similar in times, so less than a 10th difference. So yeah, very on par. So good to see. Especially if you weren't thinking you're going to be in form for tonight too, Corby, after missing some seat time.
Oh yeah,
just trying to rub it in a little, or
with COVID and everything. Luckily, it's a track I have a setup for, and it's I know the track, so.
And you can just jump in and go.
Yeah, it's just get the feel of the wheel there for a few laps. So, but look, quali, I was not unhappy with that. There was a few mistakes in that lap, so I think my potential was a mid sort of 58. So that would have been nice, but yeah, the race, so yeah, Sami's right, my tyres went off in that first stint. I lent on them a little bit, and then the second stint, I got through the traffic pretty clean, intentionally, didn't lean on my tyres, so Sami was catching up to me, but I would have, if I didn't hit that wall, I had a very fast 4 laps in me, where I would have used up all the tyre, so... didn't quite get to play that strategy out. I thought when we went past Doggy, he missed the apex of the first left coming into the cutting, so I was like, oh sweet, he's letting us through, so I went in and then unloaded him, so so that was that. So I said to him, oh sorry mate, should have said I was coming through. So yeah, so look, yeah, hats off Sami, good race, and yeah.
Cheers mate, it was good.
Looking forward to the next one.
Definitely put some pressure on you there for a while, and I kind of picked up that you were sort of looking after your tyres a bit in that second stint too, so yeah, it would have been would have been
Yeah,
good to
good
go all the way to
finish.
the end with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it probably would have been a pretty tight finish if that had kept going. So
yeah, and there's a bit of traffic, and you know,
Yeah.
which is always fun on the mountain. But,
Yeah.
and look, Gal, congratulations, mate. Good pass there on Coco in the final lap, I think it was, or thereabouts.
yeah, cutting it
thanks,
the
mate.
last lap.
Yeah, well done, Gal.
He wasn't making it easy for you either.
No.
There was some good blocks. I think he had a little bit of a damaged car from the looks of it.
Yeah,
And
I'd say
I think he knew he had to try and hold you off because he wasn't going to be able to have another shot at getting around.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was coming pretty quick. I kind of like, what's he done? You know, has he had an accident somewhere? Because I closed in real quick and almost hit him up the arse into the chase. And then had a good run and got a good run again on Murray's corner there. And next thing you know, I'm over to the left and he's coming across onto me. And I grazed the wall. I had to back out of it, and I thought, nah, he's damaged. I'll get him down the straight. Had a good run and just left him behind. That was I got no idea what the two boys in front, how far in front they were. I was in the zone trying to brace. They could have been 30 odd seconds in front, but yeah, well done, Sam. Great drive, mate.
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
And Corby for lack of seat time and jumping straight in, mate. That's unbelievable, mate. That's hats off to you, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah, to race like that and have me sort of put all that pressure on you, you know, straight back into it is definitely, definitely well done, mate. It's good to see you back too.
Thanks, lads.
I couldn't pull a quick quali time, unfortunately. A bit of traffic, and unfortunately Mick spun on one of the corners, and I don't know what he was trying to do, and I tried to go around him, and that gave my lap up. So it was good.
Good comeback to get back on the podium.
Yeah, get to the podium. It's a tough race. Bathurst does anything.
Yeah, can't predict the thing.
But yeah, thanks Sally Engineering for awesome setup and testing and tuning. Car felt amazing in the second stint.
Yeah, held very well. Yeah, and congrats on the championship win too, Sami. So
thanks, mate. It's nice to go through, Pete, I suppose. But, yeah, definitely a good feeling. But I'm sure the boys will come back stronger throughout the year anyway. There's some quick guys coming through, so which is good.
Yeah, that's it, and especially with all the differences we're going to see next week with the GT3s as well. So
yeah,
a nice mix of them on the field.
Thanks for another great series too.
I'll give you another 1 round head start, Sam.
Yeah, I know you will too. You're not Ferrari.
I'll be off in Bathurst. That run.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, JT.
Congrats, guys.
Awesome
No
work.
worries.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
drive.
Thanks for another great series.
No problem.
Thanks,
Well
mate.
done, guys.
There we have our podium finishes with Sami taking the victory in the final round and wrapping up the championship win. And then Corby in position 2 and Gallen in position 3. And that's it for the V8 Supercar Championship being the final round tonight. And then we will be back again next week for the start of a new series. I'll bring that up on the screen. So we're starting the Pagnian Imports GT3 Challenge, another 5-round series. So we'll be here every Thursday night for this series, and that starts at 7:30 PM for the broadcast. And if you want to get involved in the racing as well, if you're on Project Cars, do head over to our Facebook page and you can find out some information and be able to join up there. So we've got Monza GP as the first round, then we've got Red Bull Ring, we're at Le Mans Bugatti Circuit, then we're at Laguna Seca, and then finishing up at Circuit of the Americas GP. So it's going to be some fantastic racing in the GT3 class around all those tracks of that series. So do hit that follow button if you haven't done so already, so you can be notified when we go live. And then we're also running GT3s on iRacing at the same time, so that starts with round 1 on Monday night at the same time, 7:30. So you will be notified when we go live for that as well. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you trackside next time.